Hello, everyone. Welcome to Judges TV, and welcome to A Night In with the Judge. We've got the lovely Charlene with us today. Hello, Charlene.
Hello, Lee. Thank you for having me.
No worries. We're going to talk a little bit about your lifestyle, what you get up to as a presenter, and also a little bit about the progression of the women's game of football.
Coming up on tonight's episode from A Night In with the Judge.
There's a big interest in women's football.
Absolutely. And I think as well, having more women who are actually taking part, physically, even behind the scenes, influencers, presenters and stuff like that is sort of creating more of a market, for women. When you look at Alex Scott and everything that she's doing as well, it's sort of opening up more doors and more opportunities.
It's Lee Judges TV for all my gooners, all my gunners. Yeah, you know where to be. Subscribe to the channel, cause you know it's a lot with the legendary judges and the one damn pot.
Well, Charlie, thanks for coming on. I really do appreciate you coming on with the judge, so we're in session. There you go, so how are you anyway, all right?
I'm amazing. I feel like I'm in a bit of trouble though with you banging your hammer.
Well, it's called a gravel, but
okay.
You can call it a hammer if you like, you know what I mean? So it's up to you.
A magic stick.
That's the judge, the magic stick. We'll call it the magic stick, I'd rather call it a gravel, but a magic stick is what Charlene is going to call it. It's a what? What do I call it then?
You don't even know what it's called, Lee.
A gravel? Gravel.
Gavel.
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 A gavel? I thought it was a gravel. Right, okay. We don't mind. Keep that in because it's funny. So there you go. So, Charlene, so obviously, you are known as Charlene, the presenter.
I am.
So how did that come about?
So as a child, I've always wanted to do presenting and get into it. I thought he was about to hit the stick there.
No. I'm putting my gravel away. Grubble.
Bit of grub.
Gravel. I'm putting it away, Charlene.
And yes, presenting is something that I always aspire to do. It was something that I've always loved and was very passionate about. I've been doing presenting on and off for some time now. So I've done a little bit of radio presenting, but I find that my field is more in sports. Football predominantly is what I enjoy. And I used to do it a bit on and off. But recently I just thought, I'm really just going to push and really go for it. And it's just sort of taken off a bit.
Well, in my opinion, you're doing really well because obviously you've been a brilliant addition to AFTV. How did you get into to that? Because obviously you've been really good on it, and I know for a fact, you get good reviews and things like that. So how did that come about?
Oh, thank you, Lee. Well, I actually started off in grassroots football. So initially I was working with women, five-a-side women's football league. And I literally used to just go down, record the women's games, and I'd do pre and post-match interviews. And then from there, I moved on to men's Sunday league football. And then from there, I progressed on to AFTV and working more around the professional game. So I sort of started at grassroots women and just built my way up to where I am now.
That's an interesting point because people don't realise that what goes on before you say to get the gig with AFTV, you sort of done the groundwork and everything like that when getting up Sunday mornings and doing things like that. So tip my hat to you, so well done.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so much work that obviously people don't see.
Yeah.
So much that goes on behind the scenes. When I first started out, I would literally attend games with my camera, my tripod, and I literally didn't rely on anyone because it was something that I really loved and was really passionate about doing and achieving. So sometimes I would even set up my tripod myself, record the games, record myself doing interviews, and I do all the background work. So editing, marketing, thumbnails, all the small detail that you wouldn't even think about as a viewer. It's all been from me, literally.
Well, listen, I didn't even know what a thumbnail was until about 2 weeks ago. So, it just shows you how it goes. And when you actually see what goes on behind the scenes, for you to go out there and do that without the exposure at first is fantastic and all that, So what do you feel now with AFTV? Do you think that has got you exposure that you feel that you can go on now and do more stuff, or how's that come about, just being involved with AFTV?
Absolutely. I mean, AFTV is a massive platform. So I did actually see a massive hike in like my numbers and the exposure. Obviously, when I did join AFTV, that's when people started to recognise
Did you see like
who I
your
am.
Instagram followers go up instantly?
Oh, massively. Like, I think when I first started AFTV, I was probably on about 1,500 followers. Now I'm on like 21,000. And that's in the space of 1 year.
1 year, like that's unreal, isn't it? Like, you know
exactly.
What I mean? So before they go into presenting, like, a little bit about you, a little bit about school life and all that. So we're like, I'm found out something about Harry, who was on another previous episode. He's a South London boy like myself, you know what I mean? So whereabouts was you born, and whereabouts you go to school and things like that.
Okay, I won't go into too much detail.
No, don't go into too much detail, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but you was born, yeah?
Well, I'm here with you, Lee.
You know what I mean? So there you go.
I'm actually from East London.
East London?
Yeah, would you have guessed that?
No, I wouldn't have. Like,
Where would you have thought I'd from?
I thought you was North London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, you know, East London girl, like, yeah?
Yeah, East London, born and bred.
You heard it here first.
Exclusive. So I'm from East London. And sorry, what was the other question?
What school? Do you know what was school life like? Did you have a good school life?
So
Did you get educated?
I did get educated.
Well done.
Believe it or not. I mean, from the way I speak, would you think I'm pretty educated?
I think you've got a very good voice. It's a little bit loud, but it's,
a little bit.
But like that's the presence that you are and everything like that. What I think about, you know, from my point of view, what you are, when I first met you, is very, very bubbly character, good personality, bit loud, but so am I. So there's no problem with that. You know what I mean? So was you loud at school?
I was always loud at school.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Funny enough, I actually had a best friend who was the complete opposite to me.
Was really
Quiet, very shy, very timid, very quiet, and I was just loud and out there. They say opposites attract,
like, you know what I mean? So that's a good thing, like, you know. So like you got your education, you got like your, what they call GCSEs or whatever they are, like, you know.
I was actually a really good girl in school.
Really?
I know I'm loud, bubbly and everything.
So
but
you was a teacher's pet, like, is what we're
I
saying
wasn't
here?
a teacher's pet, but I did attend every single lesson.
Front of the room or
no, I weren't that bad. I mean, the loud ones couldn't sit at the front. We had to sit at the back.
Get Charlene in the back. Get her in the back, like,
in the
corner.
corner.
In the corner. Put Charlene in the corner. So, did you do sports at school, athletics or football or anything like that at school? Was it like sporty school or?
Not really, unfortunately, which I'm absolutely gutted about. I mean, rounders is a sport that I used to play in
Mixed rounders even better, but there you go, like, you know. So.
Yeah, in primary school, that was like my favourite game. Football, none of the girls wanted to play football.
Yeah, it's changed
it's
over
all changed now.
Yeah,
but
like, so you missed out on that.
I missed out, and I'm absolutely gutted,
Yeah.
Lee, because I'm quite athletic and I love playing, even though, you know, I'm not that great at playing.
I've actually seen Charlene play. Like,
I'm not that good. I need more practice.
She needs more practice, but that's what practice makes perfect. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So, but you've done okay. But like, so you missed out on all that, which is a shame, really. Like, you know what I mean?
Massive
because
shame.
now, obviously, like, we'll just talk about women's football, but while we're at it, because like women's football has progressed into a massive thing. Not only with like yourselves, women presenting and into the man's game, it's just got bigger and bigger, isn't it? Like, you know, and I enjoy watching the women play, particularly obviously the Arsenal. I've got a little interest in that, and it's the standard has got really, really high over the last few seasons, I think, anyway.
It has, and even from the grassroots level, because now, you know, you can get little girls teams, grassroots girls teams that can go and play football. You know, you've got women that are grassroots who are playing football, as well as in the professional game. There's so much more exposure, which, you know, when I was young and interested in football, there was nothing like that.
Yeah.
So there's definitely been a lot of progression, which has been needed as well.
I think so. Like, you know, when you say like, because probably like when you was a young girl or whatever, you didn't know that this football was about, or it was perceived in a different way, wasn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, if you like football, you're a tomboy or something like that. But now it's like, it's cool and trendy, isn't it, as
Exactly.
well? Like,
It's a lifestyle.
Well, and like you can, you know, you say like with the presenting and all, you can earn a living at football now as a young girl coming through and all that, which I think, you know, like when I played and all that, it was never heard of, like, you know. And so like the progression of it now is like you go in there, like the girls are playing in the Olympics now and doing well, and there's a big interest in women's football.
Absolutely. And I think as well, having more women who are actually taking part, you know, physically, even behind the scenes, influencers, presenters and stuff like that is sort of creating more of a market, you know, for women. When you look at Alex Scott and everything that she's doing as well, it's sort of opening up more doors and more opportunities.
How do you feel people perceive the women like yourself in the game now? Do you feel it's more open now, like, you know, like, say when you come down to AFT, I think everybody's like great and there's a great bond where everybody gets on and everything like that. But do you feel like people were accepting women being in not just football, like presenting world and all that? Like, do you feel it's a little bit easier now?
I mean, for my personal experiences, I've always been welcomed everywhere that I've been. You know, there's no one.
Why do you think that is, Charlene? Like,
I haven't got a clue. Is it my loud mouth?
I don't know.
So for me, I've always sort of been accepted and welcomed with open arms, which has been lovely. So yeah, from my perspective, I've been very much welcome and felt part of the family, and people have really appreciated me, my presence, and me as a female in sport. I do obviously get some people that are like, wow, you're a woman, you love football. And, you know, quite a few people that are like, I don't know any other women who actually love football like you do, or I don't speak to anyone that does.
Yeah. So obviously, like, you're an Arsenal fan. Obviously, we know that, like, you know. So why the Arsenal? How did that come about?
Do you know, it's funny. I was actually a little girl. I can't remember what age, but I was very young, definitely under the age of 10. And Arsenal were actually playing. And I remember eating my sweets. They were called Starburst at the time. I don't know if you remember them.
I remember them. Why wouldn't I remember them? Like, you know what I mean?
Or was it Opal Fruits? Probably in my days it was Opal Fruits.
Well, yeah, it was in my day. That was Opal Fruits, like, you know what I mean? So gobstoppers and things like that, like, you know.
Do they still exist?
I don't know. Like, probably not, like, you know. So yeah, go on. Starburst. They're called Starburst. They were
Opal Fruits.
Opal Fruits.
Yeah.
You may have water or something like that. Wasn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Saying like, do you remember that ever?
Fruity sweets.
We're calling them fruity sweets, like, you know. So, like, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I remember literally just eating my sweets and seeing, like, Arsenal play on the TV. And Ian Wright just stood out for me. And I just sort of got into the game. And then I was like, oh, my gosh. And then I just started supporting Arsenal from there.
So Ian Wright was, like, the influencer that made you start following the Arsenal. Like,
yep.
Yeah. Look at that, eh? Right, Charlene, this is a section where we go caught in order, right? I'm going to ask you 5 questions, right? You've got to answer them as quickly as you can before my gavel hits my hand, like, yeah? Gavel, okay, like, yeah? Right, so the first question is, you fancy this fella, like, you know, he's a 10 out of 10. Now, let's be honest, 10 out of 10s don't come around very often. You've bagged him. He's taking you out on your first date, right? But what would he do to turn you off?
If he's just like eating really messy and talking with his mouth full and just, yeah, something like that.
Not really sharing your chips?
Yeah, that as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I always be like, no thanks, I don't want any. But, you know, when a guy's food comes, it always looks more intriguing. So, yeah, I need a little taste of that too.
Okay, so now you know, gentlemen, what not to do. Second question, like, you know. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Feet up on a yacht, relaxing, living my best life.
With the 10 out of 10?
With the 10 out of 10.
Number 3. Favourite 2 destinations on a holiday?
Barbados and Cyprus.
Oh, very, very nice, very nice. That goes into my next question, right? Beach or pool?
Do you know what? Should I tell you an interesting fact about me?
I'd love to hear interesting things, yeah.
I can't swim.
You can't swim? Really?
You look concerned.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Look, if you want to bag Charlene, like, you know, make sure you eat your food properly and throw her in a deep end. No, you can get to save her and give her the kiss of life. Great, you know what I mean?
But I do love sitting. Oh, I prefer sitting by the pool. But I do love a beach as well. But I do love sitting by the pool, catching a tan.
Do you just dip in like, you know, to
I
your
dip my
ankles?
feet in,
Just
yeah.
dip your feet in. Yeah. Why have you not been able to swim like, you know what I mean? I've never known that for someone at this age. It's terrible.
I'm scared of water. I literally get in the water. I don't know how to float. I just start panicking.
So there's any swimming lesson people out there, like, you know, get in contact and we can get, you know, we can do that as a show, like, you know what I mean? Learn how to Charlene to swim. That'd be a good one, wouldn't it, like, you know? So,
All right, let's get that
let's
in
get
place.
that, let's just get it in place, like, you know what I mean?
Be a long
Six packs
show.
and everything, like, you know what I mean, on the show. My fifth and final question. You come in with your Leanne. Very nice, got to say that. Nice looking girl, like, and she's in the back there, like. So, when are we going out on a date?
You want to take Leanne on a date?
Just asking, just a question.
What, do you want me to sort of hook that up?
I don't know, like, you know, could you? You know what I mean?
Well, I've known her for some time, so
There you go.
when are you free, Lee?
I'm free most days.
Oh, Lee and Leanne.
Goes, doesn't it?
That could actually go hand in hand.
It goes, like, you know what I mean? So,
I'll get a date in the diary for you.
well done.
Are you sure about that one, Charlene?
Oh, no, you're going to spoil
You're
it
blowing
there,
him
like,
out.
you're going to spoil it, you know? Oh, well.
So you sure? I didn't say no.
Oh!
Sounds like you're in for
Anyway,
John.
that's the end of the Judge show today because the Judge is going, like, you know, he's going. So, Charlene, thanks for coming down today and giving us your time. It's been a blast, so thanks for coming today.
And thank you so much for having me on. I've enjoyed it.
Have you had a good
thoroughly.
time, like, you enjoyed
of
it,
course,
like?
I'm with you, Lee.
Brilliant, like, that's what can you say, like, you know. So thanks for joining the show, having watching. Don't forget to subscribe, do the like stuff and all that, and we'll see you next time.
It's Lee Judges TV for all my gooners, all my gunners. Yeah, you know where to be. Subscribe to the channel, cause you know it's a lot with the legendary judges and the one damn pot.